at the house of a traditional smallholder farmer, and as you can see here, most of them will have 1, 2, maybe 3 cattle or buffalo, and they will hold them in this type of sheds, very rough looking, slightly sloped so that the manure and the pea can fall off to the sides. The only way of cleaning it, of course, is with the hay at the bottom there, so it's easier to clean. For food, they would have basic straw, which only provides the animals with carbohydrates, a little protein, and thus hindering the production of milk. Usually these type of cattle are local, so they're not bred with any other type of cattle, thus very low yields of milk. And as you can see, they keep them tied almost all the time, so they remain here for most of their lives. The idea here is to help improve this type of feed, help improve this type of constructions, and help these families have greater yields of milk so that their families can have more income. So that's what we're aiming to do.
So we have just been visiting with this household that is headed by a disabled person, in fact a disabled couple that lives with their elderly parents. And this farmer is actually quite innovative. He has about 4 Friesian cows, and he has also a mixed Jersey cow, and he's been experimenting himself because the government services are quite reduced in this region, so they would really benefit with more support and knowledge about what they are doing. But for example, he explained to us that one of the Friesian cows he bought, they are supposed to yield quite a lot of milk, even more than the Jersey cows, but they are high maintenance, and it's very difficult for the farmers in this part of the country to have the appropriate fodder and so on to be able to maintain these cows. So in the beginning that cow was giving about 20 liters per day, but after 1 year it stopped giving milk and is totally unfertile. The other thing that this farmer does very well is he understands the importance of urine and manure, so he cleans the place where the cows are every day, and then the water and all the dirt comes into this area, and there is a pit there, and the urea that is in the urine is very good to because it has nitrate, and also the manure, and he is using that then for his crops, notably the fodder that is then going to be used to feed the cows. This is a Hollister Friesian cow. It's not a pure one, it's a crossbred one, and is actually not in very good nick. These cows are very good, they yield a lot of milk, maybe 15 liters, sometimes even 20 liters, but they require a lot of attention in terms of hygiene, in terms of nutrition, in terms of medical health. So the farmers in this region are simply not able to keep these cows in good health. So they give good amounts of milk for about a year, but then after that they don't give any more milk and they become sterile. That's why in our project we are very much working with Jersey Overseas Aid to promote the Jersey cow, because it's also a cow that produces more milk than the local types, not as much as this one, but for longer, and it's a cow that is more adaptable to the local conditions and not so sensitive to food and medical care, so it's easier for a Nepalese farmer within this region to be able to maintain these cows and have them produce milk for a lot longer.
This is a milk collection center where smallholder farmers who have small holdings of 1 or 2 cattle milk their cattle and bring the milk here to this collection center. The milk is weighed. They also get a sample of the milk because the pricing is determined by the quality of the milk, fat content. Each farmer deposits the milk. A sample is taken with a unique code all that information is recorded, and the milk is taken from this collection center to a cooperative, where the milk is then sold on behalf of the farmers to help get a good and fair price for the milk. And then the collection center then helps to distribute the funds to the smallholder farmers.
These ladies here are the responsible people for this cooperative, which is run by women, for women. There are about 644 women that are part of this cooperative. Now, they've been very much affected by COVID, because before COVID they were able to collect 2,000 liters of milk per day, and now they collect only 300. And there were about 200 women that used to bring their milk here daily, and now there's about 50. So they need to build up the reputation again, because when COVID struck, they were unable to sell the milk, and therefore they could not pay the women. So they lost all of that business, but they are now trying to build it up again. So they provide an essential service to the women households that come here to sell their milk.
So what have I learned during the last couple of days? First of all, people are milking the cow. And that sounds funny, but this is really what's happening. There are too many cows around. You see them on the roads, you see them in the towns, you see them on the farms. And when they're on the farms, often they produce very little milk, which is a real challenge for the folk here in Nepal. The other thing that I've learned is that the housekeeping of the animals is not done very well. So a lot of the manure is lost, is not kept and turned into fertilizer. And then the feed, the fodder that is provided, is very poor in nutrients. And that causes again a problem in the milk production. The other thing that I've learned here is that it's very important to connect the farmers up with the cooperatives that buy the milk and sell it to the market. So what's ADRA going to do? We're going to try to reduce the number of cows here. We are trying to improve the feed that is being given to the animals, so that there are better nutrients and less methane output. And thirdly, we're going to make sure that the extra milk that is produced is well connected into the markets so that it can be sold. So less cows, more yield, better housekeeping, less impact on the environment. That's our project here in Nepal.